Well, Snow, we're back after a couple weeks. I'd say how you been, but I've been with you the whole time.
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back.
Yeah, we've just been too busy to be podcasting.
Yeah, we got to go to a rally. Woo!
Yeah. We'll start this off with we went to our friend Mary McCord's service yesterday in Vegas.
Yeah.
And which was nice. And we didn't know what true warrior she was all the way up until the end with helping other cancer patients and stuff like that. Truly an amazing person, and she's going to be very missed on it.
Yeah, it was a really good celebration of her life.
I wish we had a chance to get to know her more because we got to learn so much about her. Gosh, she was related to James McCord.
I wish we could have talked to her about the Watergate stuff.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, if I would have known that.
James McCord was the one that broke into the fucking building.
I know. Like that would have been so interesting to hear all that stuff.
Yeah. The funny thing though is somebody was introducing us to somebody else, and I overheard them calling us warriors, and I kind of like that.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Because while we've tried to shift off politics from time to time, I think we're a little bit over 2 months away from the election, and I think a lot of our focus will be on that because it's going to be a very important thing over the next 8 to 9 weeks and stuff like that.
These next few months will be real nail biters. I probably won't have any nails left, like just the anticipation.
Yeah. And we'll start off, since we last left you, we were talking about the vice president candidates and who we wanted, but who we got was even better than what we anticipated.
Oh my God, Becky. Yeah. How much I love Tim Walz.
Tim Walz.
Let me count the ways.
Yes. And I was like everyone else. I looked at him. I really didn't know a whole lot about him, but I just judged him off like, well, he kind of looks old. But he's not.
Well, everybody said that at first. They're like, oh, great, she's picking another old white guy. And the thing about Tim Walz is he's one of those people that maybe looks older than he is because he's the same age as her. He's like maybe 1 year older than her. He's already 60. She's going to be 60.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And just such a good guy, a good dad. I mean, like people in Minnesota were talking about who would you choose, the woman or the bear? Uh-huh. And in Minnesota, where they're like, we would choose Tim Walz every single time.
Well, yeah. If the men were all like Tim Walz, I'd be picking the fucking men too.
She was like, I would trust him to watch my pocketbook when I went into Walmart.
Right? Tim Walz is amazing. Like, I know I want a short that says, make more men like Walz.
Yeah.
Like, or where are all the men like Walz? Something to that effect.
Build this Walz.
Right. Walz kicks. Walz has balls.
Yeah. And
he has balls to call him out.
Balls to the walls.
Yeah.
And what was great about him, he was a football coach, and back in the 90s, he started one of the first
gay straight
alliances.
Yeah.
To protect the gay kids in the school from being bullied. I thought that was wonderful.
In 1999.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I thought he was just an overall great guy, but I was talking to a friend, and he goes, "Well, he's a piece of shit." I'm like, how is this guy a piece of shit? What could you possibly find wrong?
What do you know that we don't know yet then?
Yeah.
And what did your friend have to say?
It said because during the George Floyd riots in Minneapolis in 2000, on one night, he was asked to call out the National Guard, and he waited until the next morning. So my friend has said, well, he's a piece of shit because he let Minneapolis burn down. And I was just like, okay, he's a piece of shit. So that must be, using the same logic as you, that Trump is a piece of shit for allowing January 6th for them to break into the Capitol, correct? And of course he couldn't answer me.
Because then he'd have to go against his orange leader. He's not going to go against his orange cult leader. They're not going to do that.
So then I looked it up. He said, well, they allowed it to happen. 604 people were arrested in Minneapolis during those riots. So that's not just letting it happen.
And the one who burned the building down?
The police station.
That was a person who came all the way from Texas to do that.
Right.
And he was a Trump humper, like a conservative.
Yeah, to make it seem...
To make it look like BLM did it.
Antifa.
Yeah, this has all been proven. You know what? I wish I would have known about this too. I would have gotten the clip of... So there is a clip of Donald Trump praising the fuck out of Tim Walz for how he handled his state during the riots. And he was praising him for calling in the guard and all that.
And the National Guard was on the ground when those fires happened. They were deployed in the city while that happened.
Yeah, people were pissed. I mean, newsflash. Like, I won't say that there weren't pissed off people, but there was also bad actors, too. There was both.
Yeah.
There was both things going on there.
Yeah, and let it be known for the record that we have stated time and time again, we are all for protesting, but we are against the looters and the ones who cause property damage.
Yeah, you can't damage. It's not your property. Don't keep your hands to yourself.
Yeah.
Keep your hands to yourself and mind your own damn business.
And in the debate, Trump tried to bring up, nothing happened to those people who were burning down the cities all around America. 2,600 people plus were arrested and convicted of rioting during the George Floyd riots.
There were people who got in trouble for that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So the equivalency,
prosecuted and everything.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what rock they live under, but
yeah. So the January 6th rioters were treated unfairly, even though 2,600 people were arrested during the George Floyd riots.
Oh, I know. And then he was going off. Trump was going off too. He's like, well, with January 6th too, they shot a woman in the face. First off, that's not what happened to her. I looked this up. Like, before he made this dumb fucking statement that's a lie, she got shot in the shoulder, okay? The reason why she probably died was because her and her goons, you couldn't get in there. They had the Capitol blocked off. How was any emergency personnel supposed to get to her to help her with her injuries? She probably bled out.
Right. And
because who dies from getting shot in the shoulder unless you don't get tended to?
And if you look at the footage, they had the door barricaded. They break the window. There are clearly officers there telling them to stand down, to get back, because you can see Congress people in the background getting evacuated.
Right.
Going out. You Congress people.
Right.
And they told them to stand down, and they wouldn't. They still attempted to get through the window. That's when she got shot. Now, these are the same fucking people that would say, like for George Floyd, well, he should have just complied.
They're lucky more of them didn't get shot,
right.
Honestly.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're breaking and entering, and they told you...
Into a Capitol building.
Yeah, they told you not to come in.
Yeah, where the third person in charge was evacuating the building.
No.
It's just fucking nuts.
Yeah.
They're
just the rule. What's that rule? Rules for thee do not apply to me.
Right.
Like, they're like that. They straight up don't give a fuck. They're to the point where they just tell you, they're like, look, your side's not allowed to do it. My side is. So that's what I'm going with. That's what they should just fucking say.
Do as I say, not as I do.
Yeah. Like, look, I'm a fucking walking contradiction. I'm a hypocritical motherfucker. That's what they should be saying.
Yeah. If you're Republican, you can get away with it.
Right. Yeah. For some reason, it's okay for that side to do it. But the other side has to be held to account. It's like, no, both of you should. Do you hear any of us crying over the fact that Menendez's ass went down?
No.
No. I'm like, good. He fucking deserves it. You shouldn't be taking bribes. You should have known better. You dumb asshole. Enjoy your stay in jail. Like, bye.
Yeah. So Tim Walz is the nominee for vice president and stuff like that, and DNC is this week, and Kamala Harris and Walz did a swing state tour, and so they were in Las Vegas last weekend, and we went to it, and it's such a stark contrast if you see the interviews of people outside like a Trump rally, and everybody's so fucking mad and angry and pissed off and fuck the media, fuck you, and all this other shit. But then you go to a Harris rally and just the vibe was just awesome. I mean, you could just feel it in the air. It just felt like this huge positive energy. You can't even explain how it felt. It was awesome. And the campaign staff was handing out snacks and ice cream bars and water because it was hot that day. But they made sure that they had coverage so everybody was staying cool and stuff like that. And I think like 12,000 people showed up. Even more showed up to the one your mom went in Glendale the night before.
Yeah, everyone was having a good time.
Yeah. Everybody's nice to each other.
I know. We didn't see any instances of people being shitty or anything.
Yeah, even when somebody down front went down with heat stroke or something like that, everybody was there to help her out.
Yep.
Just people being kind to each other. And of course Walz comes out, and God, what a great speaker he is.
Oh, I know. He's awesome. He's just awesome all the way around.
Yeah.
I just love him.
Yeah. Wouldn't it be cool if we get 8 years of Kamala and then 8 years of him?
I know. That would be awesome.
And he has the best campaign slogan ever. When he's talking about women's rights and LGBTQ rights and stuff like that.
Mind your own damn business.
Yeah, mind your own damn business. Which is so fitting.
They just make such a great team.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
And Kamala was just a really good speaker. Now, I've never really listened to her more than little sound bites here and there. But no, she can command a room.
Now it's Kamala.
Kamala.
Yeah, because the other side says
Kamala.
her name right. Yeah, you have to always remember, just think of the punctuation mark in your head. Kamala. Yeah. Kamala. Or Kamala Mamala. I guess her stepkids call her Mamala.
Oh, yeah.
That's cute.
Oh, yeah. They're going after her for not having kids.
I know. It's so stepkids no longer count? Blended families don't count? So you mean to tell me that none of the Republicans have ever been, divorced?
None?
None of them? None of the Trump people have ever been divorced?
Yeah, we got one. Oh, yeah, two. Donald.
There's a couple of
Donald
them.
Jr.
They don't have, blended families with step-parents and whatnot? Does what's her face? Does Guilfoyle have any kids?
I don't know.
Because it's if she has kids, doesn't Trump Jr. have kids? She's a stepmom.
I don't know.
Or does she not count?
I don't know. That was a plastic surgery gone wrong, though.
Oh, God.
She used to be attractive.
She looks terrible. It's just, when I saw her speaking at the RNC, I'm like, how do you not have enough money to go to good surgeons? Aren't you guys funneling some of that money away from the campaign anyways?
Well, don't search.
Trump, let her get some good plastic surgery work done. She needs help.
Well, don't you think doctors usually lean liberal anyways for the most part?
So
I would assume.
you mean that they purposely fucked her up then?
Well,
Yeah, right. No, they have like
I know they have ethics that they need to follow.
yeah, like
Yes,
we can't blame the doctors for her. Maybe it's just maybe they get to the point where they're so ugly on the inside that part just starts shining through.
Yeah.
You know, like there's no amount of surgery or work they can get done. They're just going to be ugly because they're just ugly people in their souls.
They're just such dark people that that the liposuction rejects them.
They're just ugly on the inside, so that's what shine. Like it's like their insides shine through, and it's like, and if your insides are ugly, I don't know, well, that's what everyone's gonna say, right?
Yeah, I mean, so now she's rising up because she's popular and she's attracting all the moderate voters or undecided voters, I should say, who I still can't believe they're undecided at this point, but
the people that live under rocks,
right,
apparently,
right. And so you have all this shit like crazy cat ladies, and JD Vance was going after postmenopausal women, saying like the only thing that they're good for is to raise their grandchildren. Now, he said that.
I know, and that pissed me off because he is. It's almost like he's not done with attacking every fucking circumstance that a woman could possibly go through. You know, I basically, now they won't call it early menopause, my situation, but that's basically what happened to my body. You know, I mean, matter of fact, when I got my hysterectomy, they said that I had the ovaries of a 50-year-old woman. That's someone who has already gone through menopause, right? Like, how do you keep bringing up all Shady Vance? How are you such an expert on what goes on with a woman's body? I mean, like, fuck off.
Yeah, I mean,
first off, you're not. And why can't you, if you're the one that had your kids, why can't you raise your own fucking kids? You don't need the grandma to raise your fucking kids.
Well, he was raised by his grandmother.
So, yeah, but that's because his mom was a loser, okay? No disrespect, but I mean, she was a drug addict.
Well, and then they're doing this thing, which we were talking about before we turned these mics on, that now they're like carrying around these fake, containers of jizz on it to mock Democratic women who can't conceive children. Even though I think it's they sell it more as like a snack at the rallies for themselves.
They bring their own snacks with them.
Yeah, they're MAGA Jello shot.
They're like, I need to get my protein shot in.
Yeah, this is the MAGA protein.
So
drink.
I jerked off in the cup before I came here, so I could just swig it down later.
Yeah,
to keep my protein up for the day.
Yeah, it's like you're not getting late anyways.
And oh yeah, did you see the main picture of the guy that was holding it? Yeah. I'm like. Yeah, no one's going near your dick, honey. Sorry. I mean, no one. Like, no one. You nasty. He was gross. And it's like, yeah, the only action you got that you get is from your hand jerking off into that cup.
Yeah. And what woman is going to see that picture that's all over Facebook now and be like, that's hot.
I want me some of that guy.
Yeah.
And no one's going to want, like, it's like, sir, plus your genes, if women wanted to go to a sperm bank or whatnot, they're not picking yours if there's options for them to like see pictures of the fellas. Okay? They ain't picking you.
So it's going to get nuts over the next 2 months. So we came out of that, rally. And I think I speak for you and all of us that had gone. All of our crew of friends went. And we were all on cloud nine, We were stuck in traffic in that parking lot for 2 hours. It didn't matter. We were still all in a good mood and stuff like that.
I know. I wasn't even that mad.
Yeah, and for you in Vegas traffic,
I know. For me in any traffic, I'm just like... They, like, the folks I rode with were more irritated by it than me, and I'm like, well, there's nothing we can do. And I'm still in a good mood from what I just experienced. I'm good, it was a little crazy that you would think that a place like Vegas that constantly has shows and concerts going on. I mean, they have residencies and all that at all the casinos and whatnot, or I should say like the big name casinos. You would think that they would have traffic control better under wraps there. I mean, I have never been to a concert where it took like that many hours to get out of a parking lot.
Well,
that was crazy.
She did stick around for a little bit after the rally, and I'm sure they had to have, I think there's only 2 roads where you can get in and out of that place, and one of them had to be closed off to get her out.
Well, yeah, but they've got special privileges. I mean...
Yeah, well, but if you cut out half the exits, then that's probably what happened. So,
yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know. It's just, it was crazy. I've never been to an event where it took that long.
Yeah, so we had gotten there maybe 11:30 in the morning. I think you got there maybe an hour after me, something like that. But we got inside and we had to sit there for hours before it even began. Still, really good mood. Didn't matter.
They had a DJ.
Yeah, had a DJ. Everything was cool. And we didn't get home till like 11 o'clock at night.
Oh, yeah, I know. It was an all-day affair.
And still woke up the next morning and feeling good and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden, on my social media, I start getting like people like, I can't believe you're voting for. Again, this is a person that was mad that we were toasting Bill O'Reilly back in the day, getting fired.
That's because he's in the cult.
Yeah,
the cult of douche.
So he texted me, well, I can't believe you're voting for her. I'm like, well, I'm certainly not, voting for, a 34-time convicted felon that is an accused rapist. And
yeah, I can't believe you're voting for Donald Trump. It's like, you've got a lot of balls saying that to me.
Yeah, he replies back. He goes, oh, that's what I would expect any wimpy liberal to say, that the orange man said mean things. And I'm like going, all right, way to change the narrative on your argument there.
Okay, so this is one of my examples that I was talking about earlier, because now's the perfect time. So your friend goes ahead and says some shit like that. Donald Trump is trying to sue the Lincoln Project for things that hurt his feelings.
Yeah,
this coming from the folks who say, proudly display flags and say it out their fucked up mouths. Fuck your feelings. Why do you have such feelings about this then? Why do you have such sad feelings? I'm being picked on. I need to sue. Why? I can't figure it out.
Yeah. He goes, I enjoyed it when my pockets were full and there were no wars. So I came back with, well, technically, flower. The Afghanistan war was still going on during the Trump administration, and 63 people had died under combat in the Trump administration. The Biden administration is when the Afghanistan war ended.
Yeah, remember when you guys were mad because Biden didn't pull out the way that you wanted him to pull out?
Right. On when Biden was just agreeing to Trump's terms on the ending of the war.
Trump had set these up. The ending of the war.
And we have said this. This is one thing that we did praise Trump for.
Right,
was for ending that war.
But which never happened under Donald Trump. So we were still in the war. What war are we in now? What is he talking about?
Yeah, we are not involved in any war.
Is he talking about Ukraine and Russia's war? Because that's not the United States war.
We're not actively involved.
Are you talking about the Israeli-Palestine war? Because, again, that is not the U.S.'s war.
Which we're not actively involved in. And you can't
Right.
you can't change the narrative. Like, we are involved by supplying them money and weapons, but we've been supplying Israel with money for years and years to build up their military.
And they're not the only country
Yeah.
that hasn't been.
We have always done that. We have always supplied other countries with weapons.
So, yes, Don LaDaisy, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
Don LaDaisy, this is a shout out to you.
I'm trying to think
What are you talking about?
I'm trying to think of more flowers now.
Sunflower?
So what I do was, after I had sent that, 63 people died under the Trump administration under active combat. I'm like, I'm not putting up with this. Just block. Right? Just block. So he then goes on my personal Facebook page, and I'm not friends with him there, but he sends me a comment. Hey, what's the name of your dopey podcast so I could use, because I could use a good laugh. Now, if he meant that, I would take it as a compliment. But I knew what he was doing. So I said, oh, you can find it wherever you get your podcast under Go Fuck Yourself. Block.
Wrong thing to say to a bully, though. I mean, my opinion. You should have said, you're not going to like it because you can't jerk off to the things that we say about Trump because you're not going to find him favorable. I mean, like, we all know that's what he does.
Yeah.
He probably, while he fucks his wife, he's probably fantasizing about fucking Trump. He loves him that much.
And
Don't you, Don LaDaisy?
And he's filling up his JD.
And he's filling up his cup.
He's filling up his JD Vance cup.
He's probably going, I just filled the cup. Thank you, Donnie, for giving me something to fill it up to. Oh.
Yeah. So then his wife goes to tag him under my post. Block. And so then he comes after me on the podcast page under a fake name. Block.
Do you see how hard up he was just to go after you?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, that's the only excitement they have in their miserable little lives.
And I think it's because that, just like him, they're starting to lose their minds because they're getting angry because they know he's losing.
Oh, yeah. Tell me, Don LaDaisy, if you're listening, do you have one of those shirts that says, I lube my AR-15 with liberal cum? I thought it was a joke. I thought this shirt was a joke. Look it up on Amazon, folks. It's true. And I go, how is that? Okay, let's pretend that you think that's a cool thing to put on a shirt, I would actually understand the liberal tears one, right? But the liberal cum, I'm like, so you had to milk the dude, the liberal guy. You had to milk him, jerk him off, in order to get his lube to lube up your AR-15. How did he not make out like the bandit? He got a free handy.
Yeah.
He got a free handy Jade out of it. Now I get it. You got the gold. You got his jizz so that you can lube up your AR-15. How in the fuck is that an insult?
I don't know.
It's you know what it is? It's just weird. It's just
it is
weird.
Just weird. And then I had one of my exes text me, and this was after, she was going through something, and I was talking to her, just trying to just be a friend. Be a friend. And that was it. Just be a friend. Learned my lesson. I'm just going to be a friend. As I do. And then she goes, you went to the Harris rally? And this person used to be a progressive-minded person. I was like, yeah. And she goes, I didn't think you supported communism.
I don't.
Block. Immediately. Just block.
Okay, well, if she is listening...
I doubt it.
Okay, but this is for other folks too. Where, except for like a religious cult, does the United States actually have communism? I understand that there's a religious cult could be considered communism. They share everything, They
Yeah.
share all the food. They share
'Cause
share
live
wives. They share
live
all
in
that.
communes.
They live in a commune together and they share everything. I mean, can these people at least fucking like get an education before they try to do the insults? I don't mind the insults. I really don't. But it's like, at least fucking know what you're saying. Because, okay, if you want to go the socialist route, don't you benefit from social programs? I mean, you're not even working right now.
Yeah,
you're unemployed.
Do you collect Social Security?
Aren't you? Isn't the government buying your food right about now?
Yeah.
You're a socialist. Okay. You're going to collect Social Security if you don't already collect it now. Socialist. We have a mix of capitalism and socialism.
Yeah, and the capitalism part isn't working too great now if you've been to a grocery store.
The capitalism that we have in the United States needs to be regulated, and it needs to not be dominated by only a few businesses. If we had more competition between like grocery stores and everything, airlines, all of it, we'd have lower prices.
Yeah. Did you see where Kroger, and on the programs where you go in and you just scan stuff with your phone, to get the prices, you kind of like do a self checkout as you're just shopping.
Uh-huh.
That they're using dynamic pricing on that. So by certain times of day or certain food items that are really popular, they raise the prices on it.
Huh.
Yeah, they're being investigated. Two U.S. senators called for an investigation on Kroger for doing this.
They should. Good. I'm tired of the fucking price gougers. And that's good too, because Kroger's trying to buy up. Right now they're trying to actively buy up.
They did. They actually did.
It went through.
It went through, yeah.
Okay, so last I had heard they were trying to buy up. Was it Safeway?
Yeah. And the Safeway companies.
Well, right.
Which there was multiple supermarkets under the Safeway banner.
Yeah, like Albertsons, I think got bought up by Safeway.
No, I think Kroger was already under. Albertsons was already under Kroger on it, but stuff like
Kroger has like Fry's, Smith's is under Kroger.
Yeah. So basically, there's like two supermarket companies now. So, and you wonder why prices are high. I mean, that's the whole thing.
Right.
But again, the person that called me a communist and blocked, again, found me on another social media. How dare you do this? I was just trying to need a friend right now. I'm just like, Jesus fucking Christ.
You know what you should have told her? I can't deal with this right now, but like, fuck your feelings, right? I mean, isn't that what you say? Fuck your feelings?
Yeah.
Like, don't you love how they all somehow turn themselves into the victims? Like, they start the shit, then you punch back because you're like, I'm tired of listening to your horse shit anymore.
Or you don't even say shit, you just block them.
Or you do that, okay, but that's still fighting back, pretty much. You're fighting them back for what they did, and they know they did it, but somehow they're now the victim. You have hurt them in some way.
Just fucking, and...
You're not so tough, are you? You're not so tough.
And when I'm not on this podcast, people have criticized me. Like, I try to take a very moderate approach to things when talking on, social media. I try to see both points of view. I got criticized for that. But then, and we're not going to get into what I did, but I'm becoming Kingman's, like Howard Stern, king of all media. And I posted something in the paper about one business owner who was bullying another business owner in town. We'll just leave it at that. Uh-huh. And you can find it in the Standard. And it says, going after businessmen, going after people behind businesses is just wrong. So you can read more there in the Standard newspaper in Kingman, Arizona. So then I got criticized for that, saying, well, why are you fighting back? This is a war, it's not going to work. I'm like, yeah, but we're just supposed to remain silent. And what I really love over the last few weeks since Kamala has, taken over and changed the messaging, I love that our messaging has changed, and we're not fucking going to put up with it anymore. No more they go low, we go high. We just meet their level. Mm-hmm. You come after us, we're going to come back after you. We're going to call you weird.
Should have always been that way. It's like that you cannot beat bullies by... I love the aspirational aspect of when they go low, we go high. Don't get me wrong. Yes, it's a beautiful thing and I wish it worked, but it doesn't. The fact is it doesn't work. I was bullied. So the only thing that works is you have to call them back on their flaws. You have to. Because no one's perfect. Everyone has flaws. That's how you beat bullies. Yeah. You have to call them out. You can't just sit there and ignore it because they keep doing it. Because guess what? It's easy for them. They get to vent and vent and vent on you, and you don't say anything back.
And it's worked for Trump for years. Mm-hmm. And we'll end it on this one. Something happened today in Kingman where somebody with a Harris bumper sticker immediately got verbally assaulted by a MAGA person, and the person with the sticker is a female, and the MAGA person yells at her, spits in her face. She pushes him away. He punches her in the face. The police show up and they say there's nothing we can do because there was a physical altercation on both sides. Which is just fucking bullshit.
If I was her, so this is just me. Nobody else has to do this, but somebody does that to me, I'm going to try to fight you then. If, you know what, fuck it. If it's going to come to that where the cops aren't going to fucking do anything anyways, I'm going to try to kick your ass then. I'm going to try to beat your fucking ass. Yeah. So that you can get your ass kicked by a woman then. Fuck off. I mean, this is so ridiculous. I can't believe that you're not allowed to push somebody away from you that spit in your face and then you get punched for it. And they're like, well, if you would have just let the man spit in your face and then you would have done nothing, then we would have jumped in and stopped you. But how dare you try to stick up for yourself by pushing him away so he doesn't keep spitting in your face. He has every right to punch you. That's basically what the police told her.
And how fragile of a little man, little dick energy are you that after we've seen the fuck your feelings, fuck Joe Biden sticker in the back of every single fucking pickup truck in this fucking town for years, you cannot take a Harris bumper sticker?
Micro penis. Yeah. Micro penis. Buddy, you better go get that cup and jerk off in it, because that's the only fucking action you're getting.
Or if you can't get your girlfriend pregnant, you know where to go.
That other dork.
Yeah.
That carries his jizz around with him, just in case.
Yeah. And then you can go just keep on jerking each other off in your little circle jerk.
Yeah, you guys can have circle jerks.
I know, those really angry circle jerks.
Oh.
Did you hear what Harris said?
Oh. Fuck your feelings, fuck your feelings, fuck your feelings. Fucking A, dude. You guys are pathetic.
Yes. Okay? We know you're angry, but you're going down. You're losing. You're gonna lose because for Mary, we are gonna fucking win this election.
Yep. And fuck your feelings when you get all butthurt over it.
Okay? And with that, we will see you next time.
Bye, y'all. Bye.